Okay, imagine this. A murder case. Totally baffling. I mean, zero solid leads. And then the thing that cracks it wide open, it seems to come, well, from beyond the grave.
Right. It sounds like something straight out of a movie, honestly.
Exactly. But today, we're diving into a story that's absolutely true, and it really blurs those lines. We're talking about the chilling case of Teresita Basa.
Yeah, it's one of those cases that makes you question, well, not just crime solving, but maybe reality itself, you know?
Totally. So this deep dive is all about her murder back in February 1977. Teresita Basa, she was a respiratory therapist, middle-aged, worked at Edgewater Hospital in Chicago.
And the scene the police walked into was just horrific. Found naked, stabbed, and then left under a burning mattress. This was in her apartment, 15th floor.
It's awful. And like you said, not an easy one for the cops.
No, not at all. They were completely stumped. I mean, Basa was described as, quiet, educated, loved music. She'd come over from the Philippines years before.
So, no obvious enemies, no clear motive.
Nothing. Just nothing. It looked like it was going to go cold fast. The only tiny little thing they had, a weird note in her diary.
Weird how?
It just said, get tickets for 8S. That was it.
AS. Okay. So days turn into weeks, weeks into months. Nothing's happening. The trail's getting colder.
Right. It's looking pretty hopeless. It's been 6 months. And then, bam, this completely bizarre tip comes in.
Bizarre is probably underselling it, right?
Definitely. This wasn't some informant or, new forensic evidence. It came from a doctor, a surgeon named Jose Chua.
Okay.
And he claimed his wife, Remy Chua, who, by the way, was also a respiratory therapist at the same hospital, Edgewater, had been possessed. Yeah, possessed by Teresita Basa. Not just once, but 3 times.
Wow. Okay, so that's our mission today then. We need to unpack this whole incredible story. The supernatural claims, sure, but also the actual police work that followed, the trial, the twists.
And all the questions that still kind of hang over it. It's genuinely one of the most unique true crime stories out there. How did something so strange actually lead to, well, an arrest and conviction?
Let's start with that spectral testimony, as people started calling it, Dr. Chua's account.
Right. So he describes his wife, Remy, going into some kind of trance, and then she starts speaking in Tagalog.
Which was Teresita Basa's native language.
Exactly. And it was a language Remy apparently knew a bit, but almost never spoke.
That must have been absolutely terrifying for Dr. Chua. Just surreal.
Oh, completely. And the first words she supposedly said through Remy, "Doctor, I would like to ask for your help. The man who murdered me is still at large."
Chilling. Just chilling. He must have been scared out of his mind.
He said he was. He recalled asking, "Who are you?" And the voice replying, "Ako'y Teresita Basa." I am Teresita Basa.
Wow.
Yeah. But then, according to him, the voice, Basa's voice, told him not to be scared. She was pleading, basically, for help to find her killer.
Okay, so did the voice. Did it give any details?
It did. This is the absolute core of it. The voice from the grave named a name. Alan Showery.
Alan Showery.
And it supposedly gave details. Said he'd come over to fix her TV, then attacked her, stabbed her, stole her jewelry.
Okay, stop right there. Any cop hearing this, I mean, come on. A ghost story. Why on earth would detectives like Joseph Stachula and Lee Eplin take this seriously?
That is the million-dollar question, isn't it? And it speaks volumes about, well, police work sometimes. A tip is a tip, no matter how weird it sounds, if it leads somewhere.
Indeed, it leads somewhere.
Instantly. Alan Showery. Initials?
AS.
Yeah.
The diary note? Get tickets for AS.
Bingo. Suddenly, that cryptic note wasn't so random. That was the first piece that made them think, okay, wait a second.
So the initials were a huge hook.
Yeah.
But was there anything else? What made the Jewess themselves seem credible?
Well, Detective Stachula actually commented on that. He basically said, look, his usual sources were, people on the street, addicts, pimps, but the Chuas, educated professionals, lived in a nice house. He said, a distinct change for me. He needed info, and they were offering it, so he listened. Their sort of social standing gave the bizarre story a bit more weight, maybe.
Okay, so they had the name Showery, the AS connection. Did they know him?
Yes. That was another key link. Alan Showery also worked at Edgewater Hospital. He was a respiratory technician.
Same hospital as Basa and Remy Chua.
Exactly. So they all knew each other. And apparently Basa had been helping Showery out, paying him for odd jobs because he was having money problems.
So he knew her, worked with her, and potentially needed money. That makes the AS seem much less like a coincidence.
Absolutely. So now the detectives have a name, a connection, a possible motive. Even if the source was unconventional, they had enough to act.
So they paid Showery a visit.
They did. Went to his apartment. He lived there with his girlfriend, Yanka Kalmuk, who was pregnant at the time.
Did they find anything?
This is where it shifts from the supernatural to solid police work. They talked to Kalmuk, and she was wearing some jewelry.
Don't tell me.
Yep. Teresita Basa's pearl ring. And a jade pendant that also belonged to Basa.
Wow. And what did she say?
She said Showery gave them to her. A late Christmas present.
Okay, that's pretty damning. What did Showery do?
Initially, denied everything, denied killing Basa. But they took him down to the station.
Yeah, and
Then he confessed, signed a statement, admitted going to Basa's apartment, attacking her, stealing the jewelry, setting the fire, the whole thing.
So case closed. Ghost tip leads to jewelry, leads to confession.
Well, not quite so fast. This is where the legal wrangling starts. Showery later retracted that confession.
Oh, on what grounds?
He claimed the police forced it out of him, said they threatened to arrest his pregnant girlfriend, Kalmuk, if he didn't sign.
Ah, the coercion defense. That's a classic tactic.
And his lawyer, William Swano, jumped all over it. He tried to get the whole case thrown out, argued the only reason police even looked at Showery was because of this, quote, bizarre story from the Chuas.
He basically tried to use the weirdness of the tip to invalidate everything that came after.
Exactly. Swano famously argued, never to my knowledge has a man been arrested because of a supernatural vision. Police have never before been informed of a criminal's name by a voice from the grave. He was really hammering that angle.
So how did the prosecution counter that? Did they, try to prove the possession was real?
No, not at all. They were smart about it. They basically said, look, we don't care how he got the tip. The voice was just the starting point. The evidence, the jewelry, the confession was developed independently.
They separated the catalyst from the corroboration.
Precisely. They even quipped something like, it's not like we're going to cross-examine the voice. They focused purely on the tangible evidence found after the tip.
And the judge bought that.
The judge let the trial proceed, decided the evidence itself was admissible, regardless of how the police were pointed towards it.
I bet the trial was a media frenzy.
Oh, huge. Headlines like, did voice from grave finger murder suspect? It was everywhere, a total circus.
And the verdict?
Initially, mistrial. The jury was deadlocked, couldn't reach a unanimous decision.
So maybe the supernatural element did cause some reasonable doubt for some jurors.
Possibly. But then something unexpected happened. About a month later, while they were gearing up for a retrial, Showery changed his plea.
He pleaded guilty.
Yep, pleaded guilty.
Wow, after all that fighting. Why the change of heart, I wonder?
It's hard to say for sure. Maybe facing a second trial, the evidence stacked against him. Maybe he just wanted it over. He was sentenced to 14 years. Murder, robbery, arson.
14 years seems kind of light for all that, doesn't it?
It does seem that way. And what's even more surprising, he got out really early, released in 1983.
So just 6 years after Basa was killed.
That's right. Served less than half his sentence. Apparently, he went on to live a pretty quiet life after that.
Okay, but going back, for a case this weird, surely people tried to find, let's say, more mundane explanations for how Remy Chua knew things.
Oh, absolutely. People definitely looked for alternatives to the whole possession story. Well, the most obvious one was the hospital connection. Remy Chua and Alan Showery worked together. Could she have overheard something, seen something, found out about the jewelry somehow through the hospital grapevine?
That seems plausible, right? Workplace gossip, maybe tensions.
Exactly. And there were even some reports floating around that maybe Remy Chua had a grudge against Showery. Apparently, he might have complained about her work quality.
So a motive for her to point the finger, perhaps?
That's what Showery's defense team tried to suggest, actually. They threw out this theory that maybe Remy was the killer.
Remy Chua. How did that work?
Their theory was that maybe she somehow got the jewelry, sold it to Showery, which would explain why his girlfriend had it, and then maybe after losing her job or something, she concocted the whole possession story to frame him.
That's quite a twist. Did the investigators take that seriously?
Not really, no. There wasn't any actual evidence pointing to Remy, whereas the evidence against Showery, the jewelry on his girlfriend, his confession, even if retracted, was much more concrete. It seemed more like a defense attorney throwing everything at the wall.
So despite the attempts to explain it away rationally, the core strangeness remains. And the case certainly left its mark.
Definitely. The Chuas even wrote a book about it, didn't they?
They did, yeah. A Voice from the Grave. Co-authored with Carol Mercado.
And Dr. Chua had that quote, something like, all of us want to believe in life after death. Which kind of sums up the fascination, I guess.
It really captured the public imagination. It was on Unsolved Mysteries, which is how a lot of people probably know it.
Right, and they made a TV movie about it too, in the 90s, Voice from the Grave.
And what happened to Remy Chua after all that? Did she keep having experiences?
Apparently not. John Cosgrove, who produced the movie, said that after the media storm died down in the late 70s, her life basically went back to normal. No more psychic stuff, no more possessions. She just wanted peace and quiet.
So you're left with this fascinating puzzle. A murder solved, justice seemingly served. But the path to get there was just so out there.
It really is a paradox, isn't it? You have this event that sounds completely supernatural, unbelievable, but it leads directly to real physical evidence. The source is bizarre, but the result is concrete.
It really makes you think, was it genuinely some kind of intervention from, well, the other side? Ghost demanding justice.
Or was it just a really weird set of circumstances? Maybe Remy did know something subconsciously, and maybe the trance state brought it out. Or maybe it was just a lucky break, an investigator willing to follow a strange lead.
How do you even weigh that kind of information when the source is so fundamentally questionable by normal standards, but the information turns out to be accurate?
That's the core of it, I think. It pushes us to confront how we deal with the rational versus the seemingly irrational, especially when something as serious as justice is involved.
Yeah. How much do we rely on tangible proof versus, well, something else? Where do belief and skepticism fit when the evidence itself challenges our whole framework of reality? It's definitely something to mull over.